will engage in a positive and constructive way, as we always have been, and look forward to ultimately signing a deal as long as it is good for Canada and good for middle-class Canadians.
All right, Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau thinks there has been some very positive progress with NAFTA negotiations.
The 24-year-old trade pact between the United States, Canada, and Mexico is under reconstruction, and President Trump is hoping a new deal will benefit American workers more.
But Justin Trudeau is taking a page out of the president's book, saying that it must be Canada first in their negotiations. So what are the major holdups, and what would a deal look like without Canada?
CPA and business analyst Daniel Geltrude joins us now. Thank you for joining us. We appreciate it. So what do you think is the end game here for Canada? Are they playing hardball? Do they bend?
Well, they're playing hardball, no doubt about it, trying to take one out of the Trump playbook. It's not going to work. These types of things only work for Donald Trump because of the nature of his personality. So the way I see it is that they're not in a position of leverage. The United States is. Now, the divide and conquer approach that the president has taken, now he's got Mexico with us. So now Mexico wants to see a deal with all three countries involved. I think Canada is going to be under enormous pressure. And what happens here, in my opinion, Canada first is just avoiding Canada last because they're going to be left out if they don't get in on this deal. And one more thing to remember, the president has said if they're not going to sign on, auto tariffs, 20 to 25% put on Canada. So they're in a tough spot. He's weaponizing the American economy.
So, the president has really so much disdain for these multilateral trade deals, these deals like TPP and NAFTA, and he likes to isolate countries and go one-on-one. Tell us why NAFTA, as a deal between the United States, Canada, and Mexico, was not as good as one-on-one with these two countries for the United States.
Look, the president has made it clear. He's following that plan, actually, Rob, right? Because he's made a deal with Mexico. He's made it very clear. That deal could stand alone. If Canada wants to come in, we can make adjustments for that, or we'll have a deal with Canada alone.
But previously, why was NAFTA so bad for the country that he felt the need to do this? Like, how were we losing on NAFTA? How were we losing?
The president's position always has been that we've had terrible deals. And the reason that they're terrible is because he believes in fair trade, which means, in effect, let's get rid of tariffs completely or make them even. When they're not even, there's something wrong because you take away from that free competition. The president feels we could outperform other countries. If we have a level playing field, we win. We don't have that with NAFTA right now.
So then what next after Canada?
Well, I think the president gets Canada on board eventually. Canada will claim victory because they sign on to this deal, which avoids all these auto tariffs, saves their economy. Then it's on to Europe. Europe is already working on framework for a deal with the United States. Why? Auto tariffs brought them to the table. Right. Once the president gets North America and Europe solidified, the big target, China. That's where he's going.
And China's already been hurt by this Mexico deal. If this goes through, they already get a bit of a slight.
No doubt about it. Look, the president has seemed pretty scattered and all over the place. It seems to me he's playing chess here, and he's setting this up for checkmate against China.
We'll see.
Thank you very much for joining us.
Thank you.